TV. What's
Oh,
going on, guys? It's Dealer here, back again with RDX podcast with the usual suspects, along with, of course, patron guest Attack the Glitcher. Thank you guys for joining us so much. We got a ton of great topics for you guys today. Starting with Glitcher, man, how you been? And welcome to the podcast, man.
Well, thank you, man. I've been really good, just hammering away on some gamage and just doing some stuff on my channel, all that fun shit, all that stuff. And I'm glad to be a part of RDX tonight, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's absolutely phenomenal. We love having you on. Fonz Riley, how you been, brother?
doing good, man. It's another night of RDX. Can't wait to do this, guys. We're going to have a lot of great topics to talk about. And, yeah, we might be going in on some of this stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go on a few things, maybe a few people. You never know here. Luca is running a little bit late. So, of course, Luca fans, who's not a Luca fan, she will be here. All day is here, though. He's able to, his work schedule kind of shifted around for us today. What you been up to, brother? Good to have you back.
What up, man? I'm chilling. Hey, what's going on? Hello, RDX. Where have you been? It's good to be back, man. I'm ready for get these topics in, man.
And of course, the man with the million beard hairs, Colt Eastwood. How you been, man?
I don't know where you come up with this stuff. Excited to be on RDX. Excited to watch the chat. That's always super entertaining. We got stuff to talk about, so we should start get going, huh?
Ton of good stuff. And, PSX is coming up. Hey, we are gamers. We're talking about gaming news. A lot of it is relevant for Xbox because they have a lot of multi-platform news there. So we got a lot of stuff coming that way as well. Shout out to almost 200 people watching this live already. Please hit that like button and share this around. It really helps the channel. But, of course, while we're waiting on Luca, I wanted to talk about kind of some smaller things as usual. Anybody here tried this Fallout 4 patch? I want to know your thoughts. I've been putting a lot of time in on this. I think I've gained 18 levels on this patch already. In a couple days, I've been nerding out on this. Anybody else play it?
No, not yet. I have not yet had the chance to install that one. I've been really just jamming away on Call of Duty and Gears of War. I mean, I've been really hitting that up. So I have not yet tried to install the Fallout 4 patch and everything. So that's a no for me.
Yeah, I loaded it up, and I did notice a lot of improvements with the textures and just the sun rays, and everything just looks a lot better. It's performing well. I was kind of in a dark area, so I didn't really get to see like the bright in the daytime, but eventually I will go back and run through it some more.
Yeah, I know it was kind of cool to hate on that game, and some people might still dislike it, but I actually liked it. I know it wasn't perfect, but it is a good experience.
It's still good, yeah.
Yeah, it's still good, and if you're, in my opinion, it's definitely worth going back to. They've got a new debris system Digital Foundry didn't cover, where if you're in a firefight, all kinds of dirt and chunks of stuff fly all over the place that wasn't in the Xbox One version before. You've got new reflective maps, reflective like oil slicks and puddles on the ground. You've got way better God rays. Like it looks like Ultra from PC in my experience. And the game does run at 4K almost all the time. It looks great, guys. So if you haven't tried it out, I would definitely recommend it. It's a good time.
I actually played the pre-patch a week before the enhancement patch dropped, and it still looked good, but it just looked more sharp. Like it's kind of subtle, when you go from up to 4K, unless you're looking at it side by side at first. But it looks cleaner and it just looks improved. And I haven't seen this debris stuff yet. Yeah, but I did get a chance to look at both before and after.
It brings the firefights to life, man. You can just see where all these bullets, like if you're looking down the hallway, you can just see where they're shooting at you and just dirt's flying off of these walls. And it's really, really cool looking in these big firefights. So if you haven't tried it, recommend it. We've got to give a shout out to Noof and Lethal Pampa and all these people in the chat. Thank you so much for the support as usual. Pubg. I want to talk about this, and this will lead me to the headphones thing.
Oh, no.
Got a lot of idiots here on Twitter, apparently, that are crazy about this headphone tweet. But I wanted to talk about Pubg, and really, I want to start with you all day on this. What were you thinking the second Brewhole announced parity between Xbox One S and Xbox One X 30 FPS in preview?
Oh man, I mean, like I said, with the game being in preview, like most of these battle royale or a lot of these it's popular to be in preview for 6 years, right? So, I mean, I think that it is subject to change. Him coming out saying 60 and then dialing it back to 30 is a kind of a disappointment. You know, people get hyped up. I was hyped. It's still not going to affect me. I'm still going to play the game, still going to purchase it and enjoy it for what it is. I just feel like I think he needs to be more, needs some more clarification to that tweet. You can't just put out one tweet and nothing else behind it. So I feel like they need to elaborate a little bit more on why, what happened, you know, to give people some clarification on the situation. But yeah, don't let it. I mean, it does feel a little weird, you know, having the X and not being able to get that 60 like he said, and then
if
you know,
possible, it should be offered where possible, right?
Yeah, so I think there's room for improvement in the future, man.
So we should explain a little bit more, and I'll let Colt kind of get into his actual tweet because he did say two different things. A lot of people ignored the better half of it. Basically, they came out one day, said, "Hey, we're definitely doing 60 frames per second on the X. We're shooting for it on the S, but last time I saw it, it was around 40 frames per second." And of course, that gave the idea to a lot of people that, hey, the S might be at 30, the X might be at 60. And that was a problem for a lot of people, apparently. There was a decent amount of backlash. The very next day, he announces, in preview program, we're doing 30 on both. Colt, what's the deal? What's the actual tweet or the statement there? What did you get from that?
Well, RDX.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
What up?
It's Lucas. You made it in late. Hey, we missed you.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, man. What's up, Glitcher bro? How you doing, man?
I'm alive. How are you? Nice to nice to actually get to work with you.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. But yeah, sorry to barge in, guys. What are we talking about right now?
We're talking about
We're talking about the combat in Assassin's Creed Origins.
First of all, the combat sucks. All right,
Oh
it
my
sucks.
No, let me cover this.
Listen. Let me make this clear, okay?
Let her make this clear.
You didn't see me saying anything to you about whenever you came to me like, oh, Destiny sucks, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care. So I didn't say anything about the combat sucking to you until now, all right? So I'm letting you know right now it sucks.
Woo!
You let me know Destiny sucks. We have a pass, okay? We're even.
Hang on. So I got to get this right so I understand how big of a fraud you actually are. You think Assassin's Creed Origins combat sucks?
It does suck.
Oh my God!
She has an opinion.
Get the fuck out of here! No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't suck.
First of all, sir, it does suck. Actually,
No,
it does.
No, you got to take it. You got to take it from the master of Assassin's Creed. It does not suck.
Oh well, I think it sucks.
The master of the Crocodipolis.
The master of a Crocodipolis.
Here comes the hippo.
No, I think the combat's really good and it grows on you. And we got to give a big shout out to Alan in the super chat, man. Thanks, we appreciate it. Or I appreciate it. And you know, like I said, if you guys do that, feel free to put something in there, question anything you guys want to know. I mean, fuck, I can at least give you something in return for how amazing you are.
Yeah, Alan, have your voice heard. Give us a question real quick.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed, I like the combat, and we're glad to have you back, Luca. That's what I really want to say.
Yeah.
That's what I really
it's
meant
good
to
to be back,
say.
guys. It's good to be back.
And I can say right now that you know, if you go inside your settings, right, you go in there and you look at it, there is a 1080p 60 frames mode. If you look at it, it's there.
Oh man,
click it.
You being messy, man. You being messy.
Yeah, don't throw. D was told that it didn't happen, man.
I'm just fucking with
it sucks, but we will say if you don't like the combat scheme for Assassin's Creed, you can go in the options on the controller and change it to a different setup. So that's what Luke
really good, man.
Yeah, really good, man.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Well, do you want to get back to this PUBG thing, or you guys?
Yeah. What did he say? What's the gist of this?
So there's kind of a multi-layered thing going on there, but like you said, it was running 60 on the X and not quite 60 on the S. So yeah, the second half of the statement was that they're shooting for 60 across the entire Xbox platform, but it
might not be able to hit it on the S.
Right. So what everyone's thinking is that Microsoft went after Bluehole Studios and talked them into doing a parity at 30 FPS, but there's more to it than that, because we've looked at sources where Ibarra and another Xbox executive have plainly said that we cannot mandate parity or we cannot mandate frame rate on developers' games. That's up to them. And Shannon Loftus, and Shannon Loftus also said specifically about that. She said, "I'll bet you every time that developers will choose to make them the same across the X and the S.
That's why she initially said that, yeah, they'll be the same, because she goes on in that same statement, says developers, that's what they'll probably do for a uniform experience. Well, she was wrong, and
Right.
that's
Exactly.
amazing, because we don't want that, Shannon. I hope you really get more in touch with reality in many regards. We have a good question regarding Shannon from an RDX live show questionnaire. We did do that, so if you don't follow me at dealer_gaming. It's my last tweet. If you want your question to be potentially included in the live show questions, go ahead and do that now, because we've got plenty of time. Shout out to Top Dog, who lied the other day and said I said all Xbox One X games would have 4K textures. You took the L big time on that one, because I never said that. Just wanted to throw that out there. Your fraudery has been exposed. So
Thank you for being a fraud.
we like to fuck with some of these frauds that just make shit
Yeah,
up.
it's fun. It's fun.
But yeah, PUBG 30 versus 60 Fonz. What are your opinions on this, bro?
First thing I just have to say, shut up, Shannon. That's second, I just want to say that some of these guys out there, some of these Xbox dudes, come on, like, you know, these guys that own an X that are begging for parity, I don't understand it.
Oh, no.
Look, I don't understand it if you do that owning an S or a Fat Boy one. I don't understand why you would even beg for parity ever. Whenever you get new technology, guys, you want the progression to keep moving forward. You do not want to ask to be held back at all. You don't want that, because that's just going to open the door to other things. I mean, because we could sit here all day and just point out the glaring things that people omit when it comes to advantages. There's advantages everywhere, people. There's advantages right now. If somebody's using a SCUF controller and you're not, guess what? You're at a disadvantage. If people are using mouse and keyboard, you're at a disadvantage. Just the inherent nature alone of a mid-gen console makes you, S owners, at a disadvantage. Because why? Because we got steadier frames on the X. We also have more pixel count, which, yes, does help out in games like PUBG.
Yeah, especially PUBG. Yeah, good point.
At a distance, you're going to be able to kind of make out that guy in the bush a little easier.
Exactly.
Like, is that? Oh, that's all day in the bush. Ah, there's D in the chat. What's going on, bro?
Look, it's come down to this. It's come down to certain people doing this whole pick and choose parody thing, which is ridiculous, people. We need to let progression move forward. Let's just have our consoles do what if they're capable of doing something, let it ride.
I would never sit there and say, like, if Sony put out a game that's 30 on the base and 60 on the Pro, I would never in a million years on this for the Sony guys say, you guys should be all held back. You know, you guys should all be held back. You should be at 30 frames like the base console. That's dumb. If the same thing happened with the Xbox, I would say the same thing. And if you're buying an X and you're doing that, that's a problem to me.
Yeah, the funny thing is that if the roles were reversed, all these Xbox guys were like, no, we have to have parity. Parity's fine. They would be totally destroying Sony right now. They would be killing them. They would be wrecking them. They would be making fun of them. They would not be saying, oh, it should be fair. They'd be like, aha, look at these losers. Oh, that sucks for them. They would be saying that. These guys have said so many hypocritical things, and I just like side-eye all of them, like, what are you saying? People came at me, and I think they got confused. They thought it was just like, oh, Luca, you're just upset that the game's not going to be 60. No, I'm annoyed at the people in the community who are begging for parity. Stop that.
Hey, but let's say this. I have to point out something, too. Some of these same guys are some of the same people who say, oh, the pay-to-win doesn't bother me.
That's true. That's true.
Well, guess what? If that doesn't bother you, you are the problem.
Exactly.
And
the pay to win, pay more money and win. That's not a big deal. But
the microtransactions don't bother these people. But when it comes down to this, 60 versus 30 thing, oh no, that's a big problem. Well,
some people like playing in strobe lights. That's all.
It's new tech. Look, you get what you pay for. This thing was advertised as a premium console. I want it to act as such. If the developers have full freedom, full choice to go whatever route they want to take with these games, let them do so. Shut up, Shannon, and shut up, crybabies out there.
Hey, Cyrus Berg in the super chat says, "Tell them, Fonz, preach." Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that, and once again, elite controllers, monitors. If you're playing out of game mode on your 4K TV, you are at a disadvantage. Servers, internet, there are so many variables, and the biggest one, which leads me to something I'm going to rant on for a minute, is this whole headphones thing. This is the first time I made a video since this. I'm gonna be a little adamant about it. I put out a tweet that said I think, long story short, I think headphones are a bigger advantage than 60 versus 30 FPS all day long, because with headphones it's X-ray hearing. I can hear somebody coming. If you ever gotten a decent or any pair of headphones, really, you hear people come around those corners. You hear people reloading around the corner. You hear a motherfucker coming up behind you through the wall. It's a massive advantage, and no amount of frame rate will ever give you that advantage. Yes, you might have slightly lower input lag. You better be in game mode, by the way, hopefully, or you negate all of that. So that's what I'm saying. I think headphones are a bigger advantage than 60 versus 30 any day. I prefer 60 for fluidity's sake. And, a lot of these Sony guys, these toxic fucks, that's all they do is that they're negative. They never say anything positive about anything. These fucking ghoul-sounding motherfuckers on different shows and podcasts.
Yeah.
They have no clue what they're talking about. They never have. They say nobody listens to people like me or this podcast, when in reality we pull better numbers than people like that do, and we've already surpassed them in every way. So nobody listens to me. It really kind of shows a bad light on whoever says that.
Let me explain something about the 60 and 30 FPS, because this is kind of important. Let's assume that PUBG runs really close to its target. If it's 30 frames and 30 frames, let's say it stays steady on 30 frames, okay? Now, the only benefit of 60 frames versus 30 is you have more headroom. If you're playing a game at 60 frames and it drops to 45, you'll be okay in a competitive situation. But if you're playing a game at 30 and it drops to 20, now you're looking at judder, which means you're going to miss your target when you're trying to shoot an enemy. But I don't think we're looking at that with PUBG. This is a game that's going to be built for the console. It's going to be optimized, and hopefully it's going to run at a good, steady frame rate so it can stay competitive. So if we have to deal with 30 frames and 30 frames right now for game preview launch until they get everything buttoned down, then that'll be just fine. But we don't know how well it's running at 60 frames on the X. Maybe they're having some problems because they have higher resolution. It's a big map. It's a GPU-intensive game, right? Dealer, take it from there.
No, they can always lower resolution on assets and stuff. It's the GPU is not the problem in any way. But the way that he just instantly said, of course, we're doing 60 on the X, and then one day later, it's obvious. And then even in his tweet where he tries to kind of damage control a little bit and shut people up, he's like, all right, in game preview, we're doing 30-30, but we still intend on trying to get him up to 60 or whatever. So by all accounts, it should be 60, on the X.
But Wes Webb just said that the Xbox One X can't do 60 FPS on any game.
Wes Webb forgot how to count, so how can we trust Wes Webb?
I want to touch on the headphone debate a bit, because you're exactly right when it comes to the headphones. I don't understand why people can't see what you were trying to get at. If somebody's playing...
They can, but, that's how sad it is. They have to go to 2-year-old videos or some shit out of context to try to get me, and it doesn't work. They look stupid.
Let me just paint a picture for people out there. If you have somebody playing a game on a TV and all you have is the TV speakers coming at you, and your opponent actually has like 7.1 surround sound headphones, he can find out where you're at, where all this stuff just by hearing you, whereas the guy with the TV speakers, you don't know where it's coming from. You might get left or right, but you don't know if it's behind.
I'll put it to you this way: the guy with headphones knows you are there before you know he is there. And in a game like PUBG, where you're going to be, a lot of people are camping. That's just the reality of PUBG. In a game like PUBG, where a lot of people are camping, you are listening for sound. So I don't feel like that tweet, and just let me finish up here because I'm just going to get out of the way. I don't feel like that tweet was controversial at all. I feel like it's common sense. Anybody who's played multiplayer with a good pair of headphones knows why they do that. And I feel like it's a bigger advantage than 60. Now, like I said, people come at you about that shit because they can't find much else, and that's their problem. They just look stupid.
I started playing with headphones exclusively because of this reason, guys. You can hear more. You can hear better. You can hear everything. It's just a much better experience.
I mean, you have an edge when you know you're about to get in an encounter, and the guy at 60 in this scenario, right? You're at 30, but you have headphones. The guy at 60 doesn't. You know he's there. He doesn't know you're there. You've heard him a long way off.
And you guys understand there's like 5 games on this current gen console that are competitive multiplayer games that run at 30 FPS. Right now it's Fortnite, Forza Horizon 3, I don't know, Destiny, and Destiny 2. I mean, there really aren't any multiplayer games that are stuck at 30 frames per second. So when dealer says that headphones are an advantage, Yeah, they're a great advantage. But anyway, the majority of the games, 90% or more, are already at 60 FPS anyway. Yep. So if we're on even playing ground on 30 FPS or 60, headphones are an excellent advantage.
And the reason I brought up the reason I brought up headphones is because people were complaining about 60 being an advantage, and I'm like, you already use headphones or an elite controller or a better TV. Like, just quit complaining because it's inevitable.
Hey, Buju78 said that headphones are more immersive, but doesn't make you a better player. I
disagree. I mean, I've experienced it firsthand, but hey, you've got your opinion. I've got mine.
It's still an advantage. No matter how slight you may make this out to be, it's an advantage, period.
Mm-hmm. Turn them up and listen. Just sit next to a wall. You will hear people on the other side of it. So, once again, everyone's got their own opinions. And like I said,
ban all headphones.
Yeah, like I said, some of these irrelevant turds with dead channels want to talk shit, but at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck what they think, and the numbers show. So I do want to say shout out to well over 400 people watching us live already, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button. We appreciate it. Just talking real shit as usual. Glitcher, I want to get your opinion on this frame rate parity, man. What side do you want?
I mean, look, I spent $500 on the most powerful console ever.
Freak.
I don't want to be limited or held back on what I spent my money on. Okay. Everybody, we had the choice whether if we wanted to get the console or stay with the S. That's the choice we made. Now when I saw that, I got like, okay, they're going to achieve the 60. And then everybody's like, well, no, wait, we want 30. That's not fair. Why are they going to get 60? We're going to get 30. It's like, wait a minute. You knew what this console was designed for. So don't be holding back because you didn't want to shout that extra dollars. So and now looking at this guy's point of view, people got upset really quick about that. And he's thinking, holy shit, we got this game flying like crazy on PC and we want this to fly on the Xbox brand. So maybe we should kind of rephrase that so we don't, piss anybody off. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, if you don't want to spend the $500 on the better console, the new tech to have the superior version, then don't bitch about it. That's your decision. Don't hold back what it is. You know what it is. So don't hold it back because you want 30 across the board. It's like, I think that's bogus as hell because, I mean, I'll deal with it because I am still interested in the game because I want to play it. But, if they're going to, if they're going to put it at 60, then put it at 60. And the people that don't want to get the X, then, don't bitch about it.
I agree, man. Don't hold back others because you have the wrong idea. I know people that think that if you're 60 and someone's at 30, you move through the game twice as fast as the person at 30. And that's just not how it works, man. So, hey, shout out to Michael Cicello, man. Thank you so much. What's up, man? We got a bunch of pimps in the super chat tonight, man. God damn.
Let me make and I'm only speaking for myself, but when I ask for the game to run at 60, if it can run at 60, it's not because I want an advantage. It's because I want the better experience.
Fluidity, yeah.
It's a smoother experience. Those that know about 60 frames per second know this. It's not about the advantage. Not at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, nonetheless, a lot of different opinions, and everyone, they're going to think what they think, but I think the research is out there. I think if you're worried about advantages like that, then,
if they don't want 60 frames, guess what? Microsoft has a console for you. You know what I mean?
And Donnie D.
Hey, Beer Patman, brother. Thanks. Super chat once again, man. Thanks for joining us live. You guys are awesome. All day, you got anything else to say on this, Luca? You got anything else to say on this? We got a lot of opinions. It's kind of a big thing this week.
No, we can move on.
Nope, I'm good. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's been a topic like all week, yeah.
Okay, well, I do want Fonz, you try a new Destiny patch. We're going to talk about this patch real quick. 4K support along with the DLC came to the Xbox One X. Thoughts on this? Anybody try it? Chat involved, please.
Hell no, I didn't try this. I'm not buying this Destiny.
Backpedal. I like to backpedal.
Nope. It's come
got
down
the strongest rear delts ever. Backpedal.
I am thinking with my wallet, folks. They come out and say, Bungie says, we've betrayed our player base. What do you know? The next week, everybody's buying their game still. What the fuck, people? But you know what? Hey, I don't go after those that want to play the game. Whatever. I go after the developer and the publishers. And that's
If you after this goes
Yeah,
live,
good point,
after,
good point,
after the
man.
post, you should play this video along with the video from like Destiny's launch. Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, shout out to King Ram for getting me the expansion pass. I appreciate it. I'm going back to Destiny.
That fast?
Wow.
Hey, King Ram is a
also
big supporter,
shout out
man. He
to
listens all the
Eric
time.
for the gift. The Last of Us remastered. I appreciate that as well. So
Hey, we got to give another shout out to almost 500 people watching this live.
Woo!
Thank you
Hit
guys
that
so
like button.
much. Hit that like button. We appreciate it. It helps more than you know. So nobody
Smack the
tried
hell
this.
out.
Nobody knows what it looks like. That's what I was mainly curious about. Nobody tried
no, I'll
Destiny.
boot it up after the show.
I mean, I installed it, but I haven't tried it yet because I don't feel comfortable shelling out $35 for a season pass for a game that I'm kind of already burnt out on.
Mhm.
So
You're about as uncomfortable doing that as EA is at losing $3 billion over Star Wars Battlefront II. Did anybody else hear about this? Oh, they got destroyed, Glitcher. They lost $3
Woo.
billion over
Oh,
Just
this.
hurt my soul.
Yeah, I wonder if did they learn a lesson from that? Probably not.
Probably not. They're probably thinking of some other way to sneak it in.
Probably.
Drama cheese.
The drama cheese. Colt, what do you think about this? You like numbers and statistics and shit. What do you think about this whole stock drop?
I don't know. It's like they need to. They've tried to make right. They tripled the payout on some stuff. They've increased the cash or the credits you earn.
Finally,
in the matches. But it's just. I don't know. I feel like they kind of need to do something to save the game because it's being bashed so hard. I don't know what else they can do. Like,
I want to know from the chat, guys, if you're still playing Battlefront 1, if you bought not Battlefront 1, if you bought Battlefront 2 and you're still playing it, hit a 1. If you kind of bought it and you just fell off, hit a 2. I'm kind of in between, man. I had a little glitch with EA Access where it wouldn't let me play it, but I've since fixed that and I just haven't had the desire as of right now.
The only thing that can really help them right now with this title is a huge fucking sale.
So D-Batch is still playing it so far, a bunch of 1s. That's good.
Oh, too bad we paid full.
And we
price.
don't want any game to fail, but I mean, do I think EA should pay a price? Yeah, they paid $3 billion, but I don't. That doesn't mean we want the game to fail at all. I was really excited. You guys heard me defend this game.
Don't believe that guy in the chat, man. He's a fucking imposter. Not real.
All D Digital's going against D Batch right now. A shout out to RTA King Chosen, brother.
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
I don't see nothing wrong. You know what? The worst, actually, the worst part of Battlefront, the thing that's killing it the most for me, which is strange, is Assassin's Creed Origins. I have no desire to play Battlefront because Origins is such a great game right now. Like that's the thing I've been playing. I don't even want to play Battlefront. That's the only reason I haven't been on it.
Hey, for those in the chat, check it out. West Webb's back. Now he came back to life. He crawled out of his coffin.
What's going on, West?
What's going on, West? You're infamous around here, brother. You live in infamy.
He's buried up to his ankles in resolution numbers.
He's got 6 calculators on each arm.
He's got Fonzie has the old calculator wristwatch. Remember that thing back in the 80s?
It actually transforms into a little robot too.
Yeah.
He's like, let me check the resolution.
I'm on half of the Xbox.
Oh my God! We we love you guys. We love
West
you
Webb's
guys.
a big fan. He
just-
likes that stuff.
I love
Yeah,
it.
he's a big fan. Yeah, sure.
He's amazing.
So you're right though, Cole. EA did try to right some of their wrongs. They've increased the payouts.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, so it took them a little bit to do that, but it is what it is. I mean, the longer I wait to play it, in the back of my mind, I'm like, technically, the better the game will get, right?
Yeah.
Last time I played it, it took it was like $300 per match. I would get 300 credits or less than actually, and the trooper crate was like 7,000. So do the math. That's a lot of matches to get one crate, and I just didn't want to fuck with it, man. I had other stuff to play, so. I don't know, man. UFC 3 getting in some trouble. Fonz, what do you think about this? They're doing the same thing with these damn loot boxes.
In a fighting game, what do you get?
Yeah,
Better
in the beta,
Better socks.
they're getting destroyed in the beta because they've got these loot crates in the beta.
Oh my God. They're charging you for mouth guards.
I don't know, man.
Over the weekend, I downloaded the beta just because I wanted to try it, but I never even got around to trying it because I can't bring myself to doing it because the UFC games, as much as I love the UFC and MMA, they suck ass. These games are terrible. Bring
back Fight Night.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it back. Much better game in every way. Work better on a controller. Facts.
Yep.
machine.
If you have a headset on, you're
You
even
know
better
what? In
online.
UFC, like the standing fighting is cool, right? But once you get on that ground, it's like being in Twilight Zone, bro.
Yeah, like you need 600 buttons to grapple.
Yeah.
Like you got a controller. This guy's got a 600 button
RBLB, up,
controller.
down, D-pad, right stick, start, guide menu. You know, like
Xbox, record that.
Diego, no, they're just, they're just hit with this freaking, just this ugly stick every other day. It seems like they're getting in trouble for something. Like,
this needed to happen though. They need to be crushed.
Well, exactly. But I don't know if you guys heard about it, but the other day a developer was just like, he was defending the star card so much that he was telling people that the reason why they didn't have cosmetics and stuff instead was because it would go against canon, Star Wars canon.
And then they found a bunch of it in the source code.
They mined it, and they found that there was a customization system built in the game that they're going to unlock later. So it just totally flies in the face of the stupid argument about going against canon.
It's a lie. Holy crap.
So they just keep lying and lying and lying. And when are people going to understand and wake up and decide, hey, EA shouldn't have my money anymore because all they do is lie to me?
This is a testament about how big the video game industry is becoming. If it becomes like this political smoke and mirrors thing that's going on, it's crazy. They invest so much into this industry because it's so gigantic that they just do this shady behind the scenes crap to get more money.
Hey, I've got to give a shout out to I Am Valerian, brother. Thanks for checking out the show. A lot of these people are supporters on Patreon and just people we talk to. And you guys are always there, so we appreciate it, man. Hey, Fonz, I want some questions because a lot of these people have questions.
Yeah, first of all, I got a shout out to Saltiest Gaming. He's in there saying he's going to call me out in the Star Wars canon thing. Yeah, he discussed the Star Wars canon thing, and it makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, there still is a customization system built into this game that they're going to release later. So they could have done something with it with the star cards. Anyway, moving on though. Let's
somebody destroy West Webb for his fraudulent claim in the chat just now.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead, Fonz.
Okay, so we're going to get to this question, okay? And first of all, I want to preface this by saying that Titan Drago, fuck you, man. This question, but the guys want to hear it anyway. This is just like
he's kidding, Titan. He's a fuckface.
I'm kidding. Anyway, it's like a tongue twister, Drago. And so I know what you're trying to do here, and yeah, fuck you. Anyway,
read it.
This guy says, do you think Microsoft could change their stance to maybe require some kind of special X1X support from the devs in the future? Perhaps possibly preventing profoundly pissed off 1X people posing possible parity predicaments, particularly placating pacifying ponies. Ha ha.
Oh my god. There you go, Drago. He read it. I don't expect him to answer it because I couldn't fucking keep up.
I couldn't keep up either. What the fuck do you mean?
That's a lot of P words, brother. I gotta give you a shout out on that one. Fuck, you got more P than R. Kelly does.
Oh my god.
Next question.
Okay, so we'll have a real question here now because
hey, be nice.
Anyway, so we got a question from Gaming with Patman. Wants to know, with 2K support coming to the X, will we see more options at 2K 60 frames per second for games instead of 4K 30? What's your thoughts, guys?
He's right. 2K support is coming, meaning if you have a 1440p monitor, you plug it up via HDMI, you'll be able to go into the options of the Xbox One X and change the display knob, much like it says, hey, do you want to go 4K? And you click that button that says, fuck yeah. Instead, it'll say 1440p instead of 4K. And what that means is, hey, you'll get 1440p with super sampled visuals. But as I've said before, the 60 frames thing is not down to the GPU because it could do 60 in any game pretty much out there right now. Just lower the resolution. It's easy. The problem comes when the CPU is a bottleneck. So that's what's going to vary. If you don't see an option for 60 in a lot of games, it's not the GPU. It's not the 6 teraflops number. It's the CPU. So if the CPU is not an issue, then sure, you'll get 60 frames.
Yeah.
And remember, the Pro is doing the same thing because that CPU is very similar. You know, they're both kind of the same. They have the same clock speed.
They have the same cores. Yeah, just one's a little more efficient than the other.
So they both kind of have the same issue. And it's a mid-generation console. That's next-gen stuff, really.
Hey, we got to give a shout-out to 500-plus people watching live, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button. We appreciate it. Go ahead and give us another one, Fonz. I want to get through some more of these. These are pretty interesting.
BDP 2007 says, was the Xbox One X intended to give better graphics, better performance, or both?
What do you think? The glitcher?
Or both.
He thinks or both.
I think both. The load times and everything perform a lot better. They're a lot faster on some of the games, especially Assassin's Creed Origins. I noticed the difference from the S and the X, and it did give the graphic boost. I think it was designed for both.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was designed to make all aspects of your Xbox gaming experience better, and that includes additional options where possible. I noticed massive load time differences in Fallout 4. Fast traveling is boom, it's done. So not only do you get in Digital Foundry, they used to cover this stuff, right? They used to cover load times like Trials Fusion. They covered load times in that game. I mean, but they don't do that stuff anymore. And I think now that we got a console with more memory or more bandwidth with the hard drive, they should kind of do that and give us a good idea of that difference, because it's there, man. It is.
Somebody said in the chat that it was a dumb question, and it's not, because a lot of people are confused by it. Obviously, with the this whole thing going on with PUBG and everything, some people are very confused by this whole mid-gen console thing, and they're kind of right. I mean, we haven't seen something like this ever in any generation. We've seen slight improvements to consoles, maybe mid-gen, but nothing like we have with the Pro and especially the X.
And those slight improvements weren't meant to actually be upgrades. They were meant to maybe, hey, the real reason for the Xbox One S's clock speed boost was for the HDR. It takes a few cycles to actually render HDR out in that game. So they decided, hey, we've got to have a slightly faster clock. And that's the only reason that console's a little tiny bit more consistent. And we've seen that console still drops frames. So, it's an Xbox One. You're getting about the same experience, and that's been proven. But it also depends on the game as well. So.
I think leave West alone. Leave him alone.
I think a lot of people,
see how bad this is, West. Fawn's just sticking up for you, man.
My buddy.
I think a lot of people have the wrong idea about the mid-generation console, like the Pro and the X, because a lot of the effort was put into 4K screens and 4K TVs, if you think about it, because what it was meant to do was to play your current library of games and the rest of the games going forward for this generation at a better display presentation on a 4K TV, which 4K TVs were supposed to be the new thing, and they're becoming really popular. And to expect the Xbox One X and the Pro to totally switch gears and be a 1080p 60 machine, I mean, that's not really how they're supposed to work, especially when both console designers decided to go with an overclocked CPU that was in last model, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the problem where we get in these arguments with people where they say, they're just not even running 60 frames. Well, that's not really what the whole idea of the mid-generation console was for either of them. So if you want to bash the Xbox One X for not hitting 60 frames whenever it wants, remember it was the same vision that was with the Pro. And it's just how
basically what you're trying to say is, hey, if you're really a Pro guy, you definitely won't want to say any fucking thing.
Yeah,
you're in the same scenario, but your visuals are or whatever.
I mean, we've already seen everything that the X has done is much better, 50 to 110% better than the Pro. So be happy with what you have. If you're playing on your PS4 Pro and your 4K TV and things look phenomenal, be a happy gamer and leave it at that. And if you're playing on your X, and like I am, I've been on this thing nonstop, and I'm having a great time. Things look beautiful.
But wherever improvements can be put, do so. If it's frame rate, then let it be. Let the console run. Let it go free.
But I don't think it can. Like Dealer was saying, if you don't see a 60 frames version, it just basically means it's just not going to happen on this hardware.
Yeah, but we're also not getting all of the RAM used by a lot of these games, for instance, right? So I mean, they're not even using all of the bandwidth, and in many cases we know that because they're not running 4K textures on some games. But like I've said before, that's something that the future-proof-minded person would think about. Hey, many games are getting these. Many games are getting these. Star Wars has better textures. I mean, it has the bandwidth to do so. So they've done a good job. I think EA did do a good job giving Star Wars everything, because people got to remember that they're so tied up and it's just a little bit better. But then you think Star Wars is 1440p on the Pro, it's 4K on the X. Digital Foundry did video on this, right? And that's 100% more resolution, over 100% more pixels, right? You've got better high resolution textures, the PC Ultra textures. You've got better ambient occlusion and better shadows. That is not a little bit more in a generation where a few years ago people were bragging about 5 extra blades of grass in Grand Theft Auto 5. That is substantially better in every single way. So, when it's used, and you can tell it's only going to get more prevalent as time goes on, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm on crack here.
No, you're not.
No.
Yes,
So,
you.
hey, Fonz, what do you think about GameSpot's PlayStation 2017 year in review video?
Here's what I think about it. Sometimes journalism just gets it wrong. We all know that here. And I think they got this wrong here. I think they had a pretty darn good year in terms of giving a lot of different players a lot of different options and stuff. I think they did really well. Yeah, towards the end of the year, they didn't have much they put out, but I think they had a solid year overall. And
before you go too far, I guess I should give them a little bit of context. GameSpot say that PlayStation lost momentum this year from last year. Of course, they were coming off Uncharted and stuff. They primarily relied on third parties this year, which is not a problem with that. It is what it is, and that's a benefit that Sony have, and they've enjoyed that benefit along with their fan base. But overall, to them, I guess those guys weren't really into Japanese titles because most of the stuff that came out was kind of Japanese stuff like that, So that's why when someone asks me about PS4, I'm like, well, you like Japanese stuff? Because there's only one answer there.
But here's the thing. You can also say, do you like more adult-themed games with great stories?
Well, none of those really came out today except for Horizon,
Here's the thing. Like, when you look at these journalists, okay, at GameSpot, one of them said this quote, and I just want to, this goes along to show you why I think they got this wrong. He said this, and I quote, when he wants to play a multiplayer game, Sony is where it's at. That is where the biggest online community is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's right, isn't he?
Okay. But when he's talking about a multiplayer game, you guys on the Xbox side love to say that multiplayer games is where everybody's on Xbox when it comes to the multiplayer games. They're all about the multiplayer.
I don't think everyone's on Xbox. I think most people are on PS4 because of their respective install bases, but we do know that Xbox is more reliable and is faster and lower pings, right? Like, we know that stuff. I think that's why a lot of people say Xbox is where it's at.
So we heard it now here on the RDX show. Multiplayer games, if you want to play multiplayer games, Sony is where it's at, guys.
No, I think they have the install base. You might be able to find a game.
They have the player pool.
Yeah, you might be able to find a game in some obscure, like Project Cars 1, for instance, right? Project Cars 1, you could find matches in that game for longer because it had about double the install base.
Talking is hitting that backstroke in that swimming pool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, don't you know? Xbox. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, so I think Xbox Live for reliability, consistency, community. I feel like that's common sense, download speeds, all those things. But PlayStation, if of course your friends are there and they've got more people over there, so you might find a game, with more people in it. Maybe just depends, right?
Multiplayer games, right? Yep, you heard it here. RDX.
Do you like that question, don't you?
I don't know. Whatever. All right. Is that the last question we got there, Psychotic Fonz?
Psychotic Fonz, I love it.
Psychotic Fonz.
There's a question here from AK. What is it? AK
47.
AK Relapse. He wants to know.
Playing a game show all day.
Do you have any faith that we'll see any mature rated IPs coming from first or second party studios with Shannon Loftus involved?
No.
Yeah, we've talked about this extensively on the show, and with Shannon there, and we doubled down on this on Xbox Nation as well, but with Shannon there, it's just like I haven't seen many good results from her. You get Sea of Thieves, Lucky's Tale, like all this stuff, and I've said this before where I want that open world action adventure game with a mature narrative, a story to go along with it.
With Shannon Loftus, you don't have to worry about domestic violence scenes in your video games.
Yeah, and it's just people trying to censor everything, and
it's ridiculous.
Oh man, I applaud Naughty Dog for and those people that did
Detroit
with their you got to spark people's emotion, and if it's well done and if it's tasteful, then anybody complaining about it, get the fuck over yourself. It's video games, it's a story. It's
it usually is in video games. Video games are really well done most of the time, and heavy-handed scenes are the games look great, and then presentation, it really is an art form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and it sucks because video games get so much flack. I mean, there are extremely violent TV shows and movies and books, and no one ever complains about that. Like, this stuff has been seen for years now, you know? And I think maybe because it's more interactive, or maybe people just aren't used to video games yet, but people are always complaining about video games being too violent, and it's just silly to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Exactly. Quit trying to censor everything. You know, let developers do what they're passionate about and bring some emotion to their games and stand out a little bit. They don't got to do it in a distasteful way.
Well,
but I don't think Detroit's doing it in a distasteful way at all.
Let me ask one more question here from Andy Mack. He wants to know, do you think we'll ever see honest, unbiased reviews from the media and gaming journalism? So
for games?
Yeah.
I think games, for the most part, are pretty honest, but I mean, you can, I don't know. I guess some people
see the thing of it is that all reviews are just opinions. All of it is just an opinion. So take, for instance, all those critics who were hating on Justice League, and then the people who actually went to go see it. A lot of them were like, wow, actually, this is really good. You know, you can't just trust someone else's opinion to tell you what you are going to like. That's just how it is.
Like I say, find the reviewer that lines up with a lot of your opinion in games and movies and follow them. And that's what I do.
Don't murder Noof Nukem, but he says that some people just want us to jump on mushrooms forever. Hey, you know, Ryan McCaffrey gave Mario a 10. You might think it does deserve a 10. I don't think there's such thing as a 10. Even the best game ever made, Witcher 3, not a 10. Because every game's got problems, you know.
It's still opinion based on a review anyway.
Exactly.
Personal, you know?
So your best bet is to find the critic that you agree with most. Like I tend to agree with Luke Marley or whatever on racing games a lot of the time. Then I'll kind of pay a little more mind to his reviews, but it's all opinion perspective. And if reviewers are forced to rush through a game, then they're a little less likely to immerse themselves and really enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, because I seriously doubt these guys are actually finishing these games at all. So
yeah, I mean, some YouTubers, they'll have a review up for these big 50, 60-hour games.
In 10 hours.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, buddy, you didn't mention the ending or anything. It's fine. Just mention the fact that you didn't beat it. Like, I've done that. Hey, I didn't beat this game. This is my impressions. For those asking on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And it's done, you know? So we didn't get to finish this GameSpot PlayStation video because it set a lot of people up in arms today. But
it actually had me up in arms. They said that PlayStation had a good year, but not great. But looking at 2015, 2016, they had very few games compared to this year. You said they relied a lot on third-party support, but PlayStation had Nier Automata, Neo, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Uncharted Lost Legacy, and then Horizon Zero Dawn expansion, which are all high-rated.
Yeah, and Gran Turismo Sport, right? But only Horizon Zero Dawn and Gran Turismo Sport are actual big full games.
Yeah, GT Sport, yeah. I mean, too many to even name, right? But, you know, nobody talks about Nex Machina. That was a game I actually bought on Steam that was a console exclusive for PS4. And this is made by the guys that did Resogun. I thought it was an excellent game. It's just one of those tons of games that came out on the PS4 that nobody bought. You know, nobody really talked about the 30-some games they got. But I thought, personally, that PS4 had a great year. This is when they arrived. This was greatness awaits, in my opinion. I think
next year is I think next year's greatness awaits, because the only thing they came out with this year was Horizon Zero Dawn, Gran Turismo. You got two DLCs. And you've got fucking Knack. Okay, so that's what they brought.
Well, what did Xbox bring in comparison?
That's what I'm saying, though. This is their worst year. We've said this over and over. My point is, I think next year is the year that I personally been waiting for as a pro owner. God of War, Spider-Man, and some other interesting looking games. That's the year I'm waiting on personally. This year was pretty trash. I didn't really care for Horizon Zero Dawn personally. Not into a lot of those, kind of Japanese type style RPGs and games like that. That's just me.
Did you try Hellblade?
I didn't try Hellblade. I'm getting on a PC though. If I do get it,
it's actually a pretty good game. I really enjoyed it, and for like $30, it definitely was.
Oh yeah, I've heard none but great things about it, and they need to break even and make profit on it, because I like the fact they took a risk. You know? They did take a risk.
What did the X come out with? You said first party games. They
didn't have shit either. They had fucking Forza. They had Super Lucky's Tale. They had Halo Wars 2. Cuphead isn't first party.
Right.
Yeah. They only had 2 or 3 as well. But Sony's, I think, were just Forza's the best of the best. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of open world games and stuff, Horizon's the only thing you could choose from, and a lot of people love that game, and that's great. Me personally, I didn't have an incentive to finish it. But that's just me. No, I don't think Luca beat it either, did you? I gotta expose Luca real quick.
No, I didn't.
And why didn't you finish it, you think?
To be perfectly honest, the only reason I bought it was because I was on a podcast and everyone on my show was getting it, and I felt pressured to buy the game. So,
honestly,
Peer
Luca,
pressure.
I think if you went back to it, you would find that it's a decent game in the end.
oh no, I'm sure it's amazing. I just honestly,
some
I
guys
haven't,
already spinning the shit I'm saying. I never said it was a shitty year. I said it wasn't a great year for either of them, first party wise, which is an absolute fact. So this is what you Sony dick writers do. You take a fucking quote and you add your own stupid ass words. Most of them spelled wrongly, by the way. And you do what you do, and that's just not what happened.
2016 for PS4. What were their big games?
2016. Uncharted 4 crushed everything combined, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, at least it was a really good game, the must-own game for PS4.
Yeah, just interesting, huh? People have rose-colored glasses on constantly, and I've been pretty upfront that I wasn't interested in the first-party games for Xbox until Forza came out. So,
I'd agree with Fonz in the chat. Horizon Zero Dawn is an 8 out of 10. Yeah.
I say they have shit colored glasses on. I really do. Some of these people, they're just always so negative. Like they just always want to shit on the other side, no matter what it is. Like basically, dealers just saying what GameStop has said today, and people are like jumping on him for saying,
jump on GameStop.
GameSpot.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with GameSpot, but that's my opinion, and that's fine. Don't take it and put your own words in there and say I said it was a shit year for PlayStation. I say it's shitty for everyone first party wise, but Sony had the edge with Horizon.
Yeah, but that's generally how it is, right? You say one thing and then everyone interprets it however they want. They put words in your mouth.
That's okay, because when they confront somebody after doing that, when they confront somebody, they get destroyed. And I just witnessed that.
Regardless, Xbox or PS4 gamers had fun this year, I'm pretty sure. So people need to just quit being so freaking negative.
But you can say that, but it's never going to change. It's just how these people are.
I have the power.
Like they just get off on hating each other.
Hey, we got over 500 people watching live, guys. Please hit that like button and share the podcast. Thank you so much, else more than you know. And Luca, you're right. This isn't going to change, and it's on both sides. Microsoft give you the hardware you've been bitching about for 4 years, and then they say, "Hey, we got 1 billion in games coming." Yeah, this year kind of sucked, but just wait and see. Too much negativity.
In the end, it's all about subjectivity. I mean, with these games and what we feel about how good the year was for Sony or Microsoft, it's all down to subjectivity. People are just too sensitive. That's what it feels like.
Okay, Jay, we got to get this moving along. This PSX rumors and stuff like that going on right now. I want you to take the lead on this shit.
Ooh, PSX. Yes, we're excited for PSX, guys. We already last night, it seems that we have a rumored release date for God of War. So God of War apparently might be coming out March 22nd. How do you guys feel about that?
That comes to us thanks to the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, PlayStation.
March 22nd for God of War 2018. Chat, what do you think about this? Anybody interested in this? I'm getting it.
Yeah, I am. I dug the God of War series. The one I was really upset about, for some reason, it really just bothered me, was 3, because I wanted to jam it on the hardest setting, and I got done in like 6 hours. I was like, that's it? What the hell? So, but
this one looks a little different. I will say that.
But so yeah, this one I'm really, really excited for. So yeah, I'll definitely be picking that one up. So I'm ready for God of War 4.
What's kind of weird is it's launching on the day. It's called Thor's Day in the calendar. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, if they do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's the last of Kratos and son. That's what it is. This game.
So is that his son?
Yeah,
it's his son.
Who'd he fuck?
Dealer. Dude, he's the God of War. Come on.
You're right, though. Yeah, in the games, that was a mini game, wasn't it? That was a mini game. Yeah, I'm sure he's been all around. Luca, are you getting this?
Luca,
Luca doing her nails, chewing on the toenail.
Listen. I'm not doing my nails. I got them done already. I don't know. Maybe I have to see more of it. I don't really. The kid is really annoying. I'm sorry to say, but he annoys me. Like his voice. I'm just like, I'm really not. I'm not picturing this. So we'll have to see. I have to see more.
My dad's God.
As a father, I have to say I'm interested in it because I like the dynamic.
Get the fuck out of here, Billy. I love you, son.
Yeah,
but I'm dealing with my virtual son right now.
I hope there's a mission where the kid's like, Dad, Daddy, Dad.
No. No.
It's like press X to resist
I'm
smacking
sorry.
him.
He just like I get it. He's a kid. He's supposed to act that way. But I wish they had chosen someone else for his voice actor because he sounds extremely annoying, and I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Luca needs to have kids because she doesn't understand that all kids are.
Nah, I'm good, fam.
Nah.
I don't know.
Don't take Colt's advice
She
there.
loves
Stay away
Life
from
is
the
Strange.
kids.
And those kids are annoying.
Okay.
Right now,
First of
Colt's
all-
kid is crying in the corner right now after he heard that. Dad said I was annoying.
All right, so Devil May Cry 5 is supposed to be revealed as well with potential exclusivity. From what I'm hearing, that rumor is true. But, hey, if you want to play it that bad, you got to go play it on PS4. Same way if you want to play it,
Boy, did that
Xbox,
rumor
you got to play it on
flip-flop.
Xbox.
Yeah. Moreover than that, what about Soul Calibur 6 being rumored?
Woo! That's what I'm looking for. That's my most anticipated.
Who do you think they'll have on the cover?
All day eating a hot dog.
Damn right. Goddamn.
All day smacking
Goddamn
himself in the face with a chicken wing?
right.
I've been in bed. Okay, I'm just going to stop. Which one was that where they had Yoda and Darth Vader on it?
That was Soul Calibur 2.
Wow, really? There's been that many in between here and there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the last game had Intio, I think, from Assassin's Creed.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I remember that one. So they've got that. They've also got there's quite a few rumors going around about PSX right now. They've got a potential appearance by Kojima and Death Stranding. If it does show up, and this is a rumor, if it does show up, you're going to learn a lot more about what Death Stranding is actually about. And as I've said before, a lot of people are saying 2020, 2021. Keep in mind, they ported that game over to the Decima engine, aka the Horizon Zero Dawn engine, to speed that up, to get those assets ready. They're done. Also, more proof that, hey, it's going to be a PS4 game only, probably, in case people were wondering. So,
do we even know if that's going to be an open world game or is it linear?
We don't know anything.
We don't know anything about it.
We just know the guy held a baby and cried, man. That's all.
I'm kind of hoping it's linear only because I don't want that. I don't want that Turok effect in it. With that,
I don't like the way you say linear at all.
It almost says like lingerie. Like
let me slip into some linear.
Like it's a fucking fine wine.
Linear.
Look at my linear.
Look at my linears. Let me pull up my skirt.
Linear when wearing my veneer. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Behind the ear.
What do you think about Death Stranding, Glitcher?
I am very intrigued by it. I love Kojima's work. Metal Gear Solid 5, even though that was kind of a very random story put together. But
You're telling me.
Yeah. But I loved playing it for some reason. I was like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on, but I still have to play to find out. But I like what he does, so I'm really interested in this. In the last trailer I saw, you got Del Toro holding that jar, and then you got Norman Reedus hugging babies, and then Mad, in the tunnel. It's like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, should I be like intoxicated? Is this like a Pink Floyd The Wall type thing going on right now? What's happening?
And if it is, it's not a bad thing.
Definitely not. So I'm very interested in this game a lot. I want to see more of this. Yes, I would like it to be linear, not open world. So I want to see what this is all about. I'm confused on all of this, so I just can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah, I'm with Glitcher. I can't wait for it either. It looks really interesting to me. I like that weird kind of stuff, so I'm definitely intrigued in the game, and I'm probably gonna pick it up whenever it comes out.
Am I in the minority to think that Hideo Kojima is overrated?
Nope.
I mean,
I'm kind of with you, Fonz.
I think he's overrated. I really do. I like some of his games. Don't get me wrong. Some of the Metal Gear games, some of them were pretty good. But others, like Attack of the Glitcher said, were just like all over the place story-wise and stuff. I think he's overrated. And I'm interested in
that kind of shit, though.
I'm interested in Death Stranding only because I want to see this game more fleshed out. I want to see what it's about before I make my total, my opinion on this game. But as far as the Hideo goes, like I'm just like, okay, he's all right, but
he wants to be a director. You can tell. He wants to be a film director, and I appreciate and respect the fact that he went for performance on his games before all else. So 60 frames was just nice. It felt great to play. It felt pretty Western for someone like Kojima. Honestly, it felt really Western. And I would put it up there with kind of a resurgence of a Japanese game that I might enjoy, along with Resident Evil 7, even though that was developed by, I think, a Canadian studio. Still, those kind of IPs are coming back a little bit.
You guys know that Kojima is the one that brought cinematic, like movie-like experiences to video gaming.
Definitely.
When he brought out Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation in the late 90s or whatever that was, I mean, we'd never seen anything like that with cutscenes like that and just the way that game played like a movie. So we have him to thank for that. But I'm with Fonz, like his unorthodox, like magic, paranormal, Japanese type stuff. I just want to say, like, that's not my thing at all. I'm not into like that type of genre thing. So when I got midway through Metal Gear Solid 5 a couple years ago, I was like, what the weird? And
what's going on?
Plus, the gameplay kind of worn on me because the gameplay is really repetitive and there wasn't a lot of payoff for me. Yeah. I enjoyed it for quite a while, but when that weirdness got in there, I'm kind of with Fonz. I don't know if overrated is the right word, but he's just not for me.
He's overrated.
I trust his creative process, man. He's
sure.
I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater is my favorite game of all time. So
Maniac just said that in chat. Snake Eater.
Yeah, Snake Eater. It's the best. It's my number one on my list of all time. So I trust his creative process. He always gives me entertaining games. So day one for me.
Yeah,
that's good.
You tell him, Webb. Xbox has no games. You tell him, Webb.
Fight that good fight. I think Fonz made a video about you a long time ago. But hey, while we keep going, man, we do got to say thanks for watching, guys. Everyone here, thanks a lot. Let's try to get up to over 300 likes for the end of the show. Really helps a lot. Shout out to Foxfire. Thanks for joining us as well. Lucas Bestie, one of Lucas' besties.
Oh, Lady Foxfire just got an X. Me and a couple people banded together and got her one. So she's part of the X group now. It's pretty awesome.
Congratulations, Fox.
You guys just have any games.
Okay, all day Siphon Filter. You remember when Siphon Filter is a trademark? Right?
Whoa! Say that again, dealer.
Siphon Filter.
I love that game.
Yeah,
great.
The trademark got renewed, and that means that it could potentially be teased this year. Maybe you think they'll go for that all day?
This is my thing on it, right? It could be announced as a new title, but it might be a PS2 backwards compatible type of deal where you're paying for the game with trophy support.
Maybe.
So I don't know. I mean, I got high hopes. I mean, that was me and my brother used to have fun setting people on fire with
just tasing until they burst.
What's it been all day? What's it been, like 20 years since the last Siphon Filter?
I think the last one I played was in was in 2000. I think 2000. Siphon Filter 2 was a double disc. It was great. It wasn't
it was a precursor for Splinter Cell, really. When I first saw Splinter Cell, I'm like, hey, this is like Siphon Filter.
Yeah, Siphon Filter kind of kicked off the Max Payne train and kicked off the Dead to Rights and all those other games similar to it. So it's definitely a staple in action adventure.
Hey, look, it's everyone's favorite Sony fuckboy, Warpig. How you doing, buddy? You still fighting that good fight? Every video, he's down there with them balls in his face.
Wouldn't you call him Stretch Armstrong? Because man, does he reach?
Shout out to Warpig, bro.
Yeah, shout out. If only you were getting paid for all the cocksucking. Woo!
Really
but I mean, what I really want to hear from Sony is just a SOCOM game, man. That's all I want.
Yeah. So if they did announce the Siphon Filter AAA style game, what would you do this year?
I'll do a backflip with no draws on.
Okay.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say I hope they don't announce it. Then no one wants to see that shit, man.
Everybody wants to see it. I already got people putting bets on me.
Put a one if you want to see all day. Do a no draws backflip.
No draws backflip.
Dealer, there's also a rumor out there that we might be seeing Final Fantasy VII, some more of that. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
a fan of the episodic stuff, dude. Like
I'm not a fan of episodic stuff, but I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII.
Of course.
So I will be buying into this game, definitely.
Hey, just to let everyone know too, Game Pass, Gears of War 4 and stuff's in there now, man. Like Game Pass has turned into a hell of a bargain. $10 a month for Gears, Halo, and all this other shit. Mad Max is in there. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there. So take another look at Game Pass if you haven't. Gears 4 Horde mode, especially 60 on the X, is actually a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's pretty much all we got for PSX. A lot of stuff. Well, we figured we'd tackle what we could. We tackle what we could because we won't have another show before the PSX happens. So, what about your predictions for PSX? You in the chat as well. What do you guys think they're going to show? What do you think's going to happen?
I'm gonna go first. I think that we'll see at least 2 concrete dates for the big exclusives coming out in 2018, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it. I mean, anything else would be icing on the cake. They're not having any press conferences this year, so
that's true.
Yeah, they're not having any press conferences. I think they're making an announcement to the audience, and that's about it. So I'll let you guys know.
So what do they do? They just do people file in? They watch a big screen
Friday night?
Probably. I don't know.
So all day you're going, right? Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going on Saturday and Sunday.
So what are they doing there? You go in, and how's it work compared to other PSX events?
This is my first one actually. But it's, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like any other convention. You walk in, there's a whole bunch of booths set up everywhere. They have scheduled panels you can go watch from different game developers, and yeah, it's pretty much it. You can try a lot of demos out on the floor.
Man, look at Wordpig there. We personally played Gears 4 in Horde mode all day. Do you think that was running at 35 frames per second the whole time or not? From your personal experience, did you get
60.
35 FPS?
Nah, it was 60.
Okay. So you're saying this cocksucker took a worst case scenario and he's saying that that's what it runs at the whole time now?
Yeah, he's probably playing on a Zenith and a ColecoVision. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's playing on a 2007 Zenith with 6-inch borders.
Yeah,
bro. You need to play some games and quit talking about some bullshit the whole time. That's all you do, bro.
When you talk out of your rear end, it doesn't give you any credibility.
What's your gamer score? 15,000? Jesus Christ. So you predict release dates for games like God of War, stuff like that?
Yes. Yeah, I maybe a few little gems here and there. I think Soul Calibur 6 and Devil May Cry will be announced. Something. I mean, the rumors seem legit, so I'm expecting that. If anything else gets announced, I'm interested in. It's a bonus.
So we're not gonna have them on stage at all on Friday night or anything?
No. They're just doing. I think I forgot the guy's name, but he's doing a. He's gonna speak to the audience. So I don't know.
Is he gonna wear a tight suit?
He might.
Okay.
Any other predictions? Glitcher, what do you think they're going to do?
Just some dates. I know that Geoff guy, I can't even say that guy's last name right. Even Jeff, I'm butchering his
Wow.
Like he said, he's going to announce 6th installment for a franchise. So that, whatever the hell that's going to be, just some dates being announced or confirmed. So that's all I think is going to happen. I don't see anything like any big bombs being thrown out there like, oh my God, what the hell type thing going on.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the games, you will get a couple of those. Maybe like with the announcement of Soul Calibur 6, you might get that. Devil May Cry does appeal to some people out there, and I get it. I personally am not a fan of Devil May Cry, but I get it. It's huge to some. But yeah, aside from the dates that might be released, I think that nothing big's going to be announced if they don't really have a show per se. I mean, I don't think they would announce anything too huge.
Hey, Derek says he thinks we need a new Crackdown 3 trailer or demo because the 3-year-old tech demo is kind of, we agree.
At PSX?
No, not necessarily at PSX, just in general. In general, we don't want to go off a 3-year-old tech demo. So we agree, and West Webb says he loves how we're talking about PlayStation 4 games, but once again, we're not talking negatively about these things. We're just kind of
talking about games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know some of these guys aren't used to that, so that's how it works in real podcasts. It doesn't have to be negative. We kind of offer our opinions and see how it goes, man.
I
think God of War and Spider-Man look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
What'd you say, Fonz?
No, I read in the chat. Somebody said Hard 8 was talking smack about Dealer.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's. I mean, he we don't want to get back into that. He knows what happened last time I was on the show with him. So predictions, we're pretty much done with that shit, right?
Yeah, there's
predictions. I'm with the rest of these guys. I think you're going to hear about some dates. Luca, you don't got anything to offer there. It's kind of odd. There's no press conference.
Yeah, I'm with the guys. I would like to see like Bloodborne 2, but I really doubt it. I really doubt it. But that would be awesome. Maybe one day.
Yeah, soft date. All right. Sati and Nadella says that basically all signs for Xbox One X are pretty amazing. It's getting an incredible response. What do you expect from the Microsoft CEO? But of course, we've seen the numbers. We know they are very good, especially compared to other mid-generation refreshes. They say it'll probably do around 1 million before 2018. So anywhere from 600 to 800K possibly for Xbox One X at $500 in under 2 months. I think that's phenomenal. Any kind of final opinions on this? Things doing pretty well. People are pretty excited. Performance does matter.
They're pretty satisfied, actually. I mean, that's all we're hearing is great things. Other than the occasional, like, well, this game didn't perform like it was supposed to. 3 days later, oh, it's patched.
Yep. So. You think Digital Foundry would be like, hey, why is this running at 480i? Oh, is it patched? Well, we're not going to ask the developer. We'll just run this and make some clicks off this video, so.
And then they do one 3 days later, and everything's back to normal. No, it's doing
I'm
really
waiting for that Project Cars 2 video, man. I was wrong. I thought they would come out with that the day after and double down on that. But
just on the demo? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they didn't do that, so. I don't know, guys. Unless you guys got anything else to say, I want to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us live. For those that are watching on demand, we appreciate that as well. Try to get us live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, drop a like if you appreciate the podcast. If you learn anything today, support the content. Patreon link is down below, giving away from some games every single month. And I want to start with some outros, starting with the patron guest. If you want to come on the show, we got a tier on Patreon for that. Patron guest, Attack the Glitcher Brother. Thanks for coming on. Thanks so much for your support. And where can people find you, man? On YouTube and Twitter and all that good stuff.
You guys can find me on YouTube at Attack the Glitcher, and you can follow me on Twitter at Attack Glitcher. I do have a giveaway going on right now. I am giving away an Xbox One X Project Scorpio controller. So if you would like to enter that, go to my channel. Some of my recent videos have the Gleam link in there, so you can check it out, or you can find that out on Twitter and check out the Gleam link there. So it's Attack Glitcher for Twitter and Attack the Glitcher for YouTube, and that's the same for my Xbox. And guys, thank you for having me on tonight. It was awesome and just amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Send me the link to your channel. I'll put it in the description. So if you're watching, just stick around, and there will be a link to his channel. If you can't find it, hook him up that way as well. So thanks for coming on, brother. We appreciate it. Fonzarelli, where can people find you, man? What's going on with you?
Jay Fonzarelli on YouTube and up on the Twitter space, but also you can find me at Loot Chest Radio. Yes, my new podcast, Loot Chest Radio. We got an episode out there now. You guys can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, all other podcast directories, including YouTube. We have a channel up for that. Check us out, guys. We talk all things console gaming. So thanks.
iTunes, Stitcher, Bitcher, Witcher, all of them. Witcher 3 DLC. It's some of the highest rated DLC, Loot Chest Radio. So it's a good show, man. Good reception. Go check that out. And all day, man. Thanks for making it in. Figured to get you in here.
Yeah, man.
What's going on with you?
Not much, man. You can find me at Twitter, allday_digital. Hot dogs for everyone. It feels good to be back on the show. Great topics. Shout out to the chat for coming out and watching us live.
From
the 4-0 die.
For the 4-0. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. I'm trying to get this link from Glitcher here. Luca, where can people find you? What have you been up to?
Hey, really good show. Thanks for coming on, Glitcher Bro. Appreciate everyone in chat. Sorry I was late, and you guys can find me on Twitter at the Ashton Luca.
Thank you for showing up. We know you were late, but hey.
I forgot to give a shout out to all the frauds and friends too in the chat, and especially my buddies Warpig and Webb. Thank you for stopping by, guys.
Oh, little Webster, he's so cute.
Little Webster.
So now they can share that one long Ethernet cable.
Yep.
See you next week, guys.
Cole, God, I was multitasking. I don't remember if I already called on you, man.
No, you
double shout out.
You actually usually forget about me. You're like, and then we're out of here.
No, like I'm always doing some shit.
I
Getting messages, so just
you guys know who I am. I'm Colt Eastwood. I'm at Colt Eastwood on YouTube. Sub to my channel if you haven't, and join the conversation on Twitter. Colt Eastwood there as well. So add me on Xbox Live. Let's play some games.
Yeah. Xbox Live, that's a big place for me as well. And I do try to get back to everybody, and I actually do that. I don't just say it. So
add all of us. Yeah.
II space dealer space II on Xbox Live. Colt Eastwood on Xbox Live. Jay Fonzarelli, just like you two, on Xbox Live. Ash and Luke on Xbox Live. All Day Digital on Xbox Live. And Glitcher, I don't know what yours is, but
Attack Glitcher.
Attack Glitcher. So
basically,
we're out there.
Chat. He needs to start getting on Xbox Live at night too. D-Batch, I'll see you on there.
D-Batch beat his first game the other day. It was great.
I really have to say I had a great time with that game. Gears of War. My God, honestly, it was great.
Yeah, man. Using the dreads as a pacifier. Yeah, it was great. All right, guys. We are out. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, yeah.